what's up you guys, the Curious Owl here, and today I am going to be talking to you guys about my wrap-up for February 2018. So in terms of the amount of books that I finished in February, there wasn't really a whole lot, but I did achieve a really huge goal for myself that I set in September, and if you guys watch my review, you'll know which one it is. So I ended up actually finishing 3 books in the course of February, which wasn't very much in terms of, quantity-wise, but in terms of my stress level and the amount of things I had going on in February, it was actually perfectly fine. I was really content with only finishing 3 books, actually. I tend to set myself too high, I think, a TBR, but I haven't exactly learned from that considering my March TBR, but I am going on spring break. So anyway, the first book that I finished in February was the audiobook for Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and as you guys may have seen from my review, I did not like it. It was a 2-star book for me, and the only reason I actually gave it 2 stars as opposed to 1 is because I kind of liked the frame style that was going on with the story, because it was very much a Frankenstein-esque kind of frame tale where you had one character who had the overall story that was happening to him, but then he was learning of another story within that was all kind of a part of the plot. But at the same time, it also did leave me a little confused at some points in the audiobook, and I think if I was to have read the physical version of it, I probably would have seen those transitions a little bit better. But the overall reason I did not like Wuthering Heights was because I absolutely hated the overall plot of it. I hated the characters and how they acted with each other. I hated the romance that was supposed to be involved in it because I found it very toxic and very manipulative, and I really do not understand how a lot of people actually ended up liking this novel and thinking of it as a classic just because of the toxicity that was within this relationship and this person that was involved with it, and I just don't really like the overall story of it. But you guys can go check out my review for a full review of it. Even though it really wasn't that much of a review, honestly, it was really short. Probably the shortest review I have ever had in my life. The second book that I actually ended up finishing was the ebook for Colliding Skies by Debbie Zackin, which as of this video is now available for you guys to go check out. So please go do check it out. It should be fairly cheap on Amazon. It's a really interesting sci-fi story that I think a lot of people would enjoy, and focuses on this girl named Sky who is coming up on her senior graduation from high school when an alien invasion essentially comes to Earth, and the aliens want to basically make the world a better place. Or that's what most people think, at least. And Sky doesn't really know how to perceive that until she meets an alien named Ethan, who she has this very strange connection with that she can't exactly understand. I really enjoyed this novel because although it had a very insta-lovey kind of trope going about it, which is my most hated trope of all, I really think that the insta-love was not a huge part of the story. It was actually more of you seeing the relationship between Ethan and Sky really blossom, as opposed to it being kind of just a first attraction basis insta-love story, which I really enjoyed, because that was something I really enjoyed about Beautiful Creatures, was that it wasn't an instant attraction kind of thing. There was an attraction to kind of spark the idea of getting these characters to know each other, but it wasn't the attraction and then the relationship starts. It was the attraction and then there's a build to the relationship before it actually starts and they really start to fall in love kind of thing. So I really enjoyed that aspect. I also liked a lot of the intrigue that was built within the aliens and kind of learning about the cultural differences between the aliens and the humans, and learning a lot about, what it is that they're exactly here on Earth for. I really liked Sky as a character. I will place a trigger warning for a possible domestic abuse situation. It's not a really prominent thing in the story, but there is an instance where there is some possible abuse going on that is not really clearly identified, but could still be triggering for people who've been in domestic abuse situations. So I do want to make that noted. But overall, I really enjoyed the novel. I definitely would recommend it when it comes out. So it was a 5 out of 5 for me. Honestly, I really enjoyed it a lot more than I had expected it to. And it was actually more of a novel length. It was like 360 some pages, and definitely left a lot of room for more books in the future in terms of what happens to Sky and Ethan as they start to get to know each other better and start to understand kind of what the purpose of the aliens coming to Earth is. And then finally, I finished the Harry Potter series by finishing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows for the first time. As you guys may know, I have never read this book, or I tried to when I was about 10 and never finished it, and so I have actually finished it in February, and I was so excited because this was one of those books that I had always a goal to come back to and to try to read again. And I honestly loved this book so much. It has now taken my top place for my favorite Harry Potter book, just beating Prisoner of Azkaban by only a few things really, and you can get a lot of information from my review of it. And it is also now posted on my blog that I have restarted since the fall that I totally forgot about. So you guys can go check out the blog post for it as well as the video review for Harry Potter. This book by itself was a 5 out of 5 stars for me. I loved it so much. There were some things that I did not like about it, but it was mostly opinion based, so I didn't really take that into account with my rating because it's a very subjective idea, I think, in terms of what the problems I had were. I think it differs depending on the person that you ask about them. So it really didn't change my review of it at all in terms of the rating. So it was a 5 out of 5 for me. I'm so happy that I finally finished the series, and I'm so excited to say that I have finally read every single book that there is and seen all the movies for Harry Potter, and just makes me so happy. So there you guys go. Those are the books that I ended up reading for February 2018. Let me know what you guys read in the month, what you finished, what you started. I would love to know and get your opinions on any of the books that I have talked about today. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!